Hello everyone and welcome back to Down to Earth Developments. In today's video, we're going to be briefly discussing meditation and some of the benefits that you can get from it, as well as some of the different types of methods you can use to meditate. Just to kind of start you off with a definition of what meditation is. Meditation is a set of practices that you can use to try and train to focus your awareness and your attention on a singular visualization or item or sound or object or idea. And by doing so, you try and achieve a sense of inner calm or inner peace, and that can be emotionally or mentally, or preferably both. Now, that's just a brief definition of what meditation is, so we're just going to quickly cover some of the possible techniques that you could use to give meditation a go. So I'm just going to briefly discuss some of the different types of meditation that you can try out. And each meditation, the difference is basically just the anchor of the meditation. So every type of meditation is going to have an anchor, which is like a focus for your thoughts. And the reason why you need this is because what meditation is, as I've stated already, is a way to train your attention. So you need something to focus on, obviously. Now, there are four sort of main categories, and this doesn't cover all the different types of meditation, of course, but I'll give you these sort of four broad topics, which are, I believe, the four most common. And honestly, if you're looking for a type of meditation that works for you, some of these will work, some of them won't, but I'm quite confident that at least one of these will work for you. So the first type of anchor you can have is a breath anchor. And in this type of anchor system and in this type of meditation, all you want to do is just focus on the breathing wherever you feel it most. So this might be focusing on the nostrils, for example, or maybe on the inner throat where it gets a little bit cold, sort of back in the throat. That's where I like to think about it. Or maybe you just think about your chest rising and falling, and you use your breath as the anchor for your thoughts. Another similar type of meditation you can do, which also involves the body, is called a body scan. And in a body scan, what you're doing is essentially working from your head all the way down to your toes, and you're focusing on different areas of the bodies and feeling for different types of sensations as you go. And this sort of focus and this active attention is what you use to train your attention and train your awareness, so that you're more in control of it and you don't have as many, intrusive thoughts or anything like that. A third type of meditation you could consider, which is one that doesn't really work for me, but it might work better for you, is a visualization technique, where instead of focusing on something physical or something in the real world, you instead close your eyes and you create a mental image of the thing that you want to focus on. Now, if you do guided meditations, it will often be the case of, you'll try and focus on an orb, like a golden ball of light, or maybe a body of water, or a forest, or something like this, and you'll try and picture that in your head. And that is the thing that you focus your attention on, and you try and maintain your concentration and maintain your attention on that. A fourth type of meditation, which is the last one I'll cover here briefly, is the sound-based meditation, where you close your eyes and instead of trying to picture something or focus on the body, instead you just listen to the sounds that naturally occur around you, and you try and focus on each sound individually and try and delve a little bit more into that sound and see if you can focus more on the details of each individual sound and learn how to switch your attention actively between one sound and the next. So yeah, that about covers it for the four main types of meditation, in my opinion. Now, if you're not sure which one of these would work for you, just give them all a go and you'll naturally find the one that works for you. And you can try unguided meditations or guided meditations. I would personally recommend you try guided meditations first, as they're a little bit easier to concentrate on when you have someone telling you what to do. Now that we've covered the different types of meditation, or at least some variations of meditation that you could try out, I'm now going to discuss some of the benefits of meditation. And starting off this list, we're going to talk about some of the mental health benefits. The way meditation helps with these things is mainly through the channel of reducing cortisol, which is the stress hormone in the body. And meditating has been shown to reduce the levels of cortisol in the blood, which thereby reduces your level of stress and also helps with things such as anxiety and depression via the same channel. I personally used to struggle with overthinking quite a lot and getting really worried and anxious about the future, but ever since I started meditating, I found that gradually with time, my level of overthinking has drastically decreased, and it's now at a point where I can go most days without overthinking or getting anxious about something that's coming up. Obviously within reason. I still get stressed, and you should expect to still get stressed even if you meditate. It's not a one size fits all, one size fixes all problem. Stress will always exist, but meditation will help relieve some of the negatives that come with stress, and generally just increase your tolerance to getting stressed out. So now moving on to the second set of benefits that you will receive from meditating. We're now going to talk about how meditation can affect your productivity and your ability to focus. Once again, it's been shown in a lot of studies that meditation can actually help you quite a bit when it comes to trying to focus and trying to improve your attention span, as by its definition, meditation is training you to fix your attention on a singular thing for a longer period of time and just be more aware of it. So the 3 ways that meditation can affect your focus is through sleep, your ability to just power through and your willpower, as well as your ability to remember things. Now, meditation will affect all of these areas, so it will help you improve your memory, it will allow you to get better sleep at night, and it will also give you more willpower when you are in that moment and you need that drive so you can just power through with the work that you need to get done. Now, in terms of benefits in this area, I recently had a problem with my memory where I wasn't really able to remember things very well, which is quite stressful given that I am a final year student. So remembering things is quite important for the exams that I've got coming up. But as I focused more on meditating and I allowed meditation to help me, I found that my memory just kind of came back, and it also didn't just come back. It also came with a stronger willpower and a stronger ability to just sit down and focus for like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hours, whereas before I was struggling to even get 1 hour of work done at a time before I got incredibly distracted. Now, the third and final set of benefits that we're going to consider when talking about meditation are relief of physical pains or physical illnesses that you may have. We're going to start by looking at high blood pressure, then we're going to talk briefly about heart disease, and then we're going to move on to talking about chronic pain and chronic illnesses. So, starting off with high blood pressure, meditation has been shown to increase the concentration of nitric oxides in the blood. And nitric oxide is a natural vasodilator, which means that it will naturally dilate veins and arteries and blood channels so that blood can flow more freely through it. And as a result of this vasodilation, we obviously see a reduction in blood pressure because the pressure from the vein or the artery has gone from trying to force the same amount of blood through this hole to widening it up, and now you're trying to force it through a hole more like that. And obviously, of course, that's an exaggeration, but you get the idea. And in this way, meditation can actually help you with high blood pressure problems. Meditation reduces the fight or flight activity in the body and increases the rest and digest functions of the body, which allow the body to heal and rest and recover, as opposed to being tense and ready to go like the fight or flight system does via its use of adrenaline and cortisol. By doing this, it's been shown that meditation actually helps with heart diseases because the blood isn't containing all of these stimulatory and highly tense molecules that create that feeling of tension, that feeling of stress in the body, such as cortisol and adrenaline, as I've previously mentioned. And by reducing the concentration of these in the body, and instead giving it time to relax and heal, heart disease actually becomes less likely. So this is a possible benefit of meditation. And I'd say this one's quite important, given that it could literally help you with a very serious problem such as heart disease. Moving on to the third and final thing in this subcategory, physical symptoms of any kind of chronic illnesses can also be reduced in terms of the intensity of pain or any kind of suffering that you may currently be enduring or may endure in the future. It does this by changing and activating different types of neural pathways. And these neural pathways that meditation activates, instead of being highly receptive to pain, actually dull the sensation of pain in the body and increase our ability to tolerate higher levels of pain. And by doing this, it therefore means that when the body is in pain and when you're suffering from these chronic conditions, your body is able to naturally reduce the level of pain that you're feeling. And maybe that only drops from like a 9 to a 7 or a 9 to an 8. But still, it has a noticeable impact on the level of pain that you feel by activating and stimulating these different neural pathways. I really hope from watching this video that you've gained some insight into how meditation can benefit you, and I hope that you want to implement it in your own life, because it's definitely a skill that's worth everyone taking part in, because no matter who you are, it will bring you some kind of benefit. Now, if you are interested in starting up meditation and maybe you also want to take on some other challenges at the same time, I highly recommend that you check out my Project 50 video, which will come up in the cards now, or at least close to now. which will give you a detailed guide into how to get started on a 50-day project where you will improve your exercise, your general health, your ability to focus, and pretty much anything else you could be looking for in a self-development context. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's been informative, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.